Hello everyone. So today we'll be discussing on the topic ternary search, right? So let's get into the definition part. Ternary search is a divide and conquer searching algorithm. So this one you have to keep in mind for sure. So it's a divide and conquer searching algorithm that works on the sorted array. So as we'll be going with the searching basically works on the sorted array itself, whether it may be binary or the ternary search. Yeah. So um, that works on the sorted array by dividing the search space into three parts. The name itself suggests, right? So it is ternary, right? So what it does, so it is the divide and conquer searching algorithm that works on the sorted array by dividing the search space into three parts instead of two. That is the reason we call it as ternary search. At every step, it compares the target with 2 points and discards 2/3 of the array accordingly. Yep, so this is fine. Next, let's move on with the algorithm explanation part. Now, first thing, so what we have to do, we have to maintain low and high pointers. Yep, so we have to maintain low and high pointers. 2 pointers, one is low and another one is high, right? So this is fine. Next, we have to compute two midpoints. Two midpoints will be going with mid 1 as well as the mid 2. Mid 1 is nothing but low plus high minus low by 3, this part, and mid 2 is nothing but high minus low, this one, uh, high minus low by 3. Yep, so this is fine, I believe. These two midpoints will be going with. Just remember this one, the same thing will be implementing in the form of code. First, maintain low and high pointers, then compute the two midpoints. You can just have a look into it, this two. Then we'll compare the target with the mid 1 and mid 2. These two midpoints will be comparing the target with mid 1 and mid 2. Suppose if we are narrowing the search to one of the three regions, will repeat until found or search space becomes invalid, right? Sorry, this one not suppose. So here we'll narrow the search to one of the three regions, right? So then we'll repeat until uh, whatever we need is found actually, or search space becomes invalid, whatever the element that we are searching for, right? So, or search space becomes invalid. So this is it for the algorithm. So not to worry for now. Actually, if you didn't understand everything, we don't have to worry for now. We'll be implementing the same thing in the form of code, and we'll try run by considering the example that we will be considering within the code. Yep. So for now, let's concentrate on implementing or articulating the same thing, whatever we discussed on the algorithm explanation in the form of code. Yep. Let's start writing the code in simple terms. Just give me a second here. So let's continue with the coding part. So I'll just come here. Yeah. So within the main, let's consider the example. First, let's go with a function to perform the ternary search. So I'll just go with static. So let me go with int. I'll just go with ternary search. So this is fine. I'll just go with int a as well as I need one more parameter, nothing but x. So within the ternary search, this one method. So first thing, let's go with the left boundary of the search space and let's go with the right boundary of the search space. For this, I'll just go with this one, L equals 0. So this is fine. And also let me go with R equals A dot length minus 1. So this is fine, I believe. Next, what shall we do? We have to continue while the valid range exists, right? So for that, I'll just go with a standardized while loop, binary search loop, right? So I'll just go with while. Instead of left less than right, we'll be going with left less than or equal to right. Yep. So within the while condition, first thing, as per the algorithm, we have to compute the midpoints. We have two midpoints. One is first and second midpoints. So let's go with that. Yep. So let me implement the same thing in the, let's implement the same thing in the form of code actually. So for the mid one, I'll just consider M1. This one will be, sorry, left less right minus left by 3. Same thing goes for the mid 2 as well. Instead of left, we'll be considering right. Right minus, so this one will be right minus left by 3. So this is fine. So these are the first and second midpoint. Then after considering first and second midpoints, so we have to check the first mid and we have to check the second mid. These two things we have to do. And finally, we have to go with the target that lies in the first third, right? First, let's check the first mid. So I'll just go with if A of M1. So this one, I'll just go with, sorry, let me go with A here, small a. So here we have considered, right? Yeah, error should be gone. Anyways, A of M1, if it is equivalent to X, then what we have to do? So in that case, we have to return M1. So I'll just go with return M1. Next, I'll just go with, we have to check the second mid as well. The same thing. Let me do one thing. I'll just copy the same thing and make the necessary changes. So I'll paste it over here. So this one remains same if condition, if A of M2 here, right? If it is equivalent to X, then we'll return M2 instead of M1. So this is fine. After checking first and the second mid, then we'll be moving on with the further things. So let's do one thing. The target lies in the first third accordingly with the algo, right? After checking first and second mid. So let's write one more if condition here. If suppose X is less than A of M1, nothing but mid one. In that case, target lies in the first third. So I'll just assign the R to M1 minus 1. Yep, so this is fine. Then else target lies in the last third as well. So I'll just go with the else if here, else if X greater than A of M2, else if X is greater than A of M2, then we'll assign L to M2 plus 1. L to M2 plus 1. Right? So this is fine. So we are left with only one thing, nothing but when the target lies in the middle third, right? For that, I'll just write the else here directly. Else, let me assign left to M1 plus 1, and you would have already guessed R to M2 minus. Yep. So this is it for the coding part. If the suppose if the target is not found at all, in that case, we'll let's return -1. So let's not forget this one. Yep. So this is fine. So this is it for the coding part. So let me format the code once so that this looks good. Yep. So this is fine, I believe. Next, let's move on with the main method. So within the main method, what we have to do? So we'll be considering the simple example. Yeah. So first, let's go with a sorted input array. So let me consider a simple example this time. Yep. So I'll just go with A equals. I'll just go with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, all the even numbers. Let me stop at 14. Enough elements. Anyways, so next, let me do one thing. We have to go with the element to search, right? So we have to consider the element to search. X we have considered X, I believe. Yeah, we have considered X. So this is fine. Let's do one thing. I'll just go with X equals which element shall we search for? I'll just go with the 10. Yep. So yep. So let me consider the variable index and let me call the ternary search here, right? Ternary search of A comma X. So this is just to perform the this one ternary search. Finally, let's go with the S out nothing but system out println. Let me pass the index IDX. So this is just to print the index of the target. So let me format the code once so that this looks good. Yep. So we are done with the coding part. Yep. Yeah. I hope we do not have any typos or the errors. So before running the code, let's do one thing. Let's dry run the code so that we get to know whatever the code that we have written is correct or not. And also we get to know the output for the example that we have considered within the code. Yep. Let's do that. Let's dry run the code. Let's continue with the dry run part. Yep. So we have considered the same example that we had considered within the code. Array equals so these many elements actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 5, 6, 7 elements, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, as well as the 14. The target element, the element that we need to search for is 10. Yep. So this is fine. So let's see. Let's move on with the dry run part. Initially, as per the code that we have written, L will be 0 as well as R will be 6. Yeah. We are going with the this one accordingly with the code that we have written, right? So then so we will be going with the M1 as well as the M2, mid one as well as the mid two. So for the first mid one it is 2, right? For the mid one it is 2. So at the index 2 we have the value 6, right? So this one, so I'll just mention here index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So this is fine. L is 0 and R will be 6. M1 mid will be you can just look into this one, the formula that we went with, right? So for the mid one as well as the mid two. So mid one is 2, and the value at the index 2 is nothing but 6. Then we are going with this one mid 2. Mid 2 is nothing but 4, and the value we have at the index 4 is nothing but 10. Yep, is 10. So now a of m2 here, a of m2 nothing but the mid 2 is equivalent to target, right? Is equivalent to target. So we have found, because a of m2 is nothing but mid 2, we have the value 10, and we are searching for the 10 itself. Yeah, we are searching for the 10 itself, right? So a of m2 is equivalent to target. So we have found the element. So we'll return index 4, right? So we'll return index 4 as output. Yep. We'll return the index 4 as output. So this is it for the dry run. It's very simple. Yeah, you can just pause the video and have a look into it. Yep, you can just pause the video and have a look into it. Now we are done with the dry run part. We have discussed the algorithm, we have written the code, we are done with the dry run part as well. Yep, by considering the example. So now we are left with only two things: running the code that we have written. If everything goes well and if we get the desired output, we will be discussing the complexities for the code that we have written. First, let's run the code that we have written. Let's do that. So I have come to the coding part here. So let's do one thing. Let's run the code that we have written. So let me run. See here, the output that we are getting is 4, right? So we found the element at the fourth index by making use of the ternary search. Yep. So it's as simple as that. So our output matches the output that we had derived within the dry run by considering the same example. So we are left with only one thing, nothing but discussing the complexities for the code that we have written. Yep. Let's do that quickly. Yeah. So now, what would be the time complexity for the code that we have written? You would have already guessed the time complexity would lead to pico of logarithmic n to the base 3. Yep. So to the base 3, because we are going with the ternary search, right? So the name itself indicates, right? So I'll just go with here pico of log n to the base 3, right? So what would be the space complexity here? Space complexity would lead to pico of 1. Time complexity would lead to pico of log n to the base 3, because search space is reduced to 1/3 each step, right? 1/3 each step. That is the reason I have mentioned here 3 to the base 3, right? Space complexity would lead to pico of 1, because we are going with the iterative approach that uses the constant extra space, right? We are not making use of any extra variables. So the time complexity and the space complexity for the code that we have written would lead to pico of log n to the base 3 and pico of 1 respectively. So this is it for the complexities part, and this is it for the ternary search. Yep. So tomorrow we'll be discussing on the topic. What shall we discuss on? So we are almost done with the searching algorithms. We are left with only one, nothing but search on answer directly. So that will be a small algorithm. We don't have to worry that much. So yeah, tomorrow we'll be discussing on the topic search on answer algorithm. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.